Hi guys, this is Mike from the Last Corvette. This is a Volvo XC70 that I've been working on replacing the inner impeller on the turbo because of the oil blow-by. So upon doing the initial troubleshooting, it was determined that it was indeed the turbo, and I took everything apart. We are getting oil. And I proved that in my previous videos. Anyway, I just got a confirmation that the turbo, the new inner impeller, is on its way, and it should be here within, well, either tomorrow, so Thursday or Friday. So I've had the old housing, or the old impeller, soaking for about 4 days now, and you can use WD-40 or a PB Blast. They do sell WD-40 that's basically, it's a dual purpose. And it basically lubricates, and it also fights corrosion and rust, and that's what I got. All right, so this here is the outer housing that mates up to the impeller. And I already cleaned it some. I'm going to clean it again. I'm going to make sure that the mating surfaces are all nice and clean. This here would be your intake side. So this is where your cold air intake attaches to right here. This side is what mates up to your turbine, the main housing that's attached to the exhaust manifold. So if you look inside, the principle is very simple. Most of these turbos can be rebuilt. And when I say rebuild, you rebuild the inner impeller itself. And that's what I ordered. It's coming, and I'll kind of show you guys basically all the components that it comes with. It's very simple. But if you look at this main impeller housing, or the body itself, let me set this up. So this surface here, this counterbore surface here, is where the impeller face locates with, or mates, I should say, with the actual housing itself. This groove here is where the snap ring lives. And the whole idea is, if this is a original turbo like this one is, you will have a little bit of corrosion and grime and dirt and rust because, given the fact that not only does it go through heat cycles, but also is pretty exposed to the elements, believe it or not. So you got to soak it, and you have a snap ring, and the snap ring is the only thing that really holds your main impeller to the housing. Then everything obviously gets bolted together, but I'll show you that in another video. One of the main important key factors here is there's a locating pin right there, and it's right on the main counterbore lip, or your mating surface. Right there is the pin. And let me show you why that pin is important. Set this down. So this is the original turbo impeller, okay? So obviously you got your hot side. Actually, this is the cold side. This is the hot side here. And if you look closely, remember I showed you that counterbore on the housing? This is the lip right here where it mates to the housing. So this surface and the counterbore surface are flush. As you can see, there's a hole right there, and that hole locates on the pin. And what that does is sets the orientation. So when you drop this impeller in, it clocks everything to the proper orientation. That way your oil return line is aligned properly. All your oil and coolant lines are aligned as well. In this case, here is the O-ring, and this is what seals and prevents the oil from getting into your exhaust. When you buy one of these impeller kits, it comes pre-assembled, so it looks just like this. The O-ring comes separate. It's part of the kit, but it's not installed. And then you get your return line seal, and you also get a block seal. And that block seal is just another O-ring that goes into the block if you have a leak. In this case, I don't have a leak on the return line, so I'm not going to worry about it. In this case, what failed wasn't the O-ring itself, even though it's worn out and squished. It's the actual impeller itself. And actually, let me see if I can show you guys here. How can I set this up? I don't know if I can or not. Maybe I'll do it this way. So if you look here, okay, there it is, right there. So if you look here, you'll notice there's play. You can hear it. And as it's running out, it obviously dumps the oil through, because in between these two impellers are basically a guide, a bearing seal as well. And what it does is, as it's running out and basically destroying itself, as you can see, it's bypassing oil right into the hot exhaust side and creates a huge cloud of smoke like a chimney. And not only is it dangerous, but it's a telltale sign your impeller is on its way out or completely toast like this one. So to do this job, I mean, I already made videos, and I will make 2 more videos showing you guys the final product and that whole dreaded, hey, you got to drop the front diff, which is not true, to show you guys where that window is, like I mentioned before. But let's put this down. This is the only thing, like I said, it lives right in here, and it holds. So this is your impeller. So this is your locating hole. That's your locating pin. So you would clock it like that. It would drop in. And let's see, it's like just like that. Okay. And then next step would be for the snap ring to go over, and then you would collapse the snap ring utilizing your snap ring pliers, and you would collapse it in and actually push the snap ring into the upper groove, and that's it. And from there you can just start, to reassemble everything in the reverse order. So once again, the key here is, if you have an old turbo, it's definitely worth fixing if the car is worth fixing, right? So in this case, it is. The parts are available, and it's coming in a few days, but it really comes to any kind of repair that you do. The key is the preparation. So you want to make sure you soak the 2 pieces. It makes it that much easier to move the snap ring in the groove. And in my case, I actually had to use a flathead screwdriver to kind of move it around a little bit to get it loose, and then I compressed it with a snap ring set, and that was it. And then when it comes to snap ring kits or snap ring pliers, whichever way you want to call them, this is what I got. You don't really need to have anything fancy unless you use it every day, but I got 11 piece. I've had this for a while. And it works pretty well. It has ID and OD style snap rings, a couple of pick tools, and it works pretty well. And when I say ID and OD, you got basically a fork style, and then you got a 90-degree snap ring style, and that's what I used here. So it comes in like this, goes over the snap ring, and then you can collapse it or compress it and then release it into the groove. Alrighty guys, this is basically a Volvo XC70, and the rest of the Volvo families, the rest of the European vehicles that utilize a similar turbo setup. Like I said, it's a bunch of them. In a nutshell, I'm just showing you guys simple steps and hopefully simple explanation of how to take the housing apart. And then we'll definitely do a very detailed video on how to put it all together and show you guys step by step, at least for the XC70. And like I said, this Volvo platform goes across many, many models and many, many, many years. All right, I will catch you guys later, and we'll try to do some more videos.